If you think about your resources in Tekken 8, it's very likely that the first thought that pops into your mind is heat. And yes, your heat is a very important resource. However, I would make an argument that your health is your most important resource in this game. Of course, the obvious reasoning for this is that once your health has been depleted to 0, you lose the round. But the other question is, do you use your health as a resource? When you think about the risks you take when playing this game, whether you have a lot of health or whether you have little health changes your decision making. Now the Reina on the left here has 150 HP, so if she does a launch punishable move, it's not really such a big deal if it's blocked. Yes, she eats a lot of damage, however, she also has a lot of recoverable health left over, and then she can still just win one interaction and there's the round. On the flip side, the Reina on the right has very little health. And this also influences decision making because now suddenly, if any of her lows are blocked, she loses the round. Whether it's her safest low in forward neutral 4, 25 damage, she lost the round. Or whether it's a hell sweep, 25 damage, she lost the round. So when you have less health to lose, suddenly risky moves are just as good as your safe moves. If you find yourself in a position like this near the wall, it may be advisable to get up and just stand block, because Reina can't wall splat with any of her lows. However, if you choose to get up ducking, it is ill-advised, because suddenly Reina can get an entire wall combo and there goes majority of your health. However, in a pretty much identical situation, with the exception of having low HP, getting up stand blocking and getting up ducking carries exactly the same amount of risk, because any wrong guess loses you the round. With that being said, as the defender and also keeping your opponent's tendencies in mind, it may be more rewarding for you to get up and low parry, because if you're gonna take a risk, you might as well take a risk that gives you the opportunity to make a comeback. A while ago, I believe back in season 1, I watched a video by FDX and I believe he quoted speed kicks when he said, you can make 179 HP worth of mistakes in any given round. Of course, in season 2, they increased the maximum HP to 200, and so this should be adjusted to 199 HP worth of mistakes. However, in Tekken 8, it's not necessarily as straightforward as you can make 199 HP worth of mistakes, because recoverable health is a thing, and so you can actually make a few more mistakes than that, depending on how the round goes. You may find yourself in a situation like this, where one cheeky low is all the opponent needs to end the round. But if you force them to block a couple of moves before they go for their cheeky low, you can potentially give yourself one more interaction to make something happen. This also means that something like a power crush is a lot more valuable the more HP you have, because you can actually tank the damage. On the other hand, with low HP, a power crush becomes a lot less valuable because, even though this is practice mode, the minute that you see all the recoverable health disappear, it means that in an actual game the round would have been over. To make a long story short, I believe you should view your health as a resource, especially when you have a lot of recoverable. Because what does this mean? It means that suddenly heat burst becomes way less valuable and a heat engager becomes incredibly powerful. This also extends to the types of moves that you use. For instance, poking, or any moves that do damage while the opponent is standing on the ground, is all permanent health. Whereas, if you go for a combo, you will see that the opponent has recoverable health left over. As another example of this, Reina's Hell Sweep does 28 damage of completely unrecoverable health. But if she does her sweep from heat, it is 35 damage, but there's 15 points of recoverable. So if the opponent manages to get that 15 health back, then the sweep technically only did 20 damage. This should also factor into the way that you use your heat, because while heat burst is a very powerful get off me tool, you miss out on getting 30 health back from landing a heat engager successfully. But heat engagers are not the only way that you can use your heat in conjunction with your health, because I will do the same combo with and without heat, and you'll see the difference. You will notice that you recover considerably more health when you do a combo already in heat than when you do a combo outside of heat. This means that if you're having trouble landing a heat engager in the neutral, using a heat burst as a combo extender isn't such a bad idea because you also get some more recoverable health out of it than if you don't use a heat burst. That is going to be all from me for this video. Be sure to like and subscribe because I will be uploading more informative content like this in the coming weeks, at least once a week. So stay tuned for that. Thank you all very much for watching, and I hope you have a phenomenal day.